Well, good morning. Here it is Thursday. It's September the 23rd, and we've had some nice weather. It's going to get a little bit warmer in the next few days, but we've enjoyed at least some cooler temperatures for a time, and it falls, here, and it'll start to tell on us before we know it. But this morning, I want to share with you a devotion entitled "They'll Think You're a Fool." Kind of an interesting title, isn't it? But in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, it says this, and Paul, of course, wrote this, said, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." In Paul's first letter, to this church in Corinth, Greece, he contrasts, the good news of what God has done through Jesus with, the popular, cultural wisdom of the day. You see for the Corinthians, persuasive rhetoric, brilliant oratory and a philosophical genius were where it was at. That's what they loved to hear. And so, the more polished and creative you were in your presentation, the more popular and influential you would be. And from that way of thinking, the gospel and the story of Jesus is not some smart new philosophy. It's madness. It was madness to them. Jesus was not the kind of Messiah, king or salvation that the Jews were expecting. They were expecting a king to come in and take care of the Romans, throw them out, and reign there on the earth for them, make things better. The cross does not mesh with the wisdom and the pursuit of the world. It still doesn't. Die to yourself, humble yourself and be exalted, or to be exalted. The greatest is the least among you. Confess your sin and admit your need for a Savior. Now here's an accurate summary for you. The Christian good news is all about God dying on a rubbish heap at the wrong end of the empire. It's all about God babbling nonsense to a room full of philosophers. It's all about the true God, confronting the world, of posturing, power and prestige and overthrowing it in order to set up his own kingdom. A kingdom in which the weak and the foolish, find themselves just as welcome as the strong and wise, if not more so. Paul didn't use rhetorical genius or clever, words or, worldly wisdom to trick or persuade people. Now listen, he told the story of Jesus. He testified of what God had done in his life and how the scriptures, pointed to it ahead of time. And he was willing to risk, looking foolish to the world by sharing the good news of Jesus in order that some might come to know, God's power in their own lives. You see, that's what each one of us, we need to do, is to tell the story of what God has done in our lives. We need to point people to the cross of Jesus. Listen, some people will think that you're a crazy fool, but you see, others will come to understand and experience the power of God because, of the gospel that you've shared with them. Here's my question for you this morning. Are you prepared to look foolish to the glory of God? And here's my challenge. I pray that God would give you the opportunity, give me the opportunity, all of us the opportunity to share with someone about the power of God in your life. That's what my prayer is every day, is that God would, help me to cross paths with someone that needs to hear about the true gospel of Jesus Christ. Yeah, like I said, some people are going to think it's foolishness. Some people are going to think it's silly. But you know, it's worth it if one person understands and realizes they need to make a change in their life, and they need to use Jesus in their life. And so I pray that you would, this would encourage you today, that the gospel is the true genius of the world, even though they don't think it is. And that you would realize that. Anyway, remember, Angie and I love you guys. We're praying for you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.